To have you here. My name is Mason McCoy. I look after a little bit of the marketplace strategy and priorities within our commercial business. And I am stoked to be here today to talk to you about the opportunity for growth within our commercial marketplace.
And I'm Kristyn Maddox. I support our product marketing for Marketplace. I support our messaging for all of our segments, whether that's partner, customer, or even field. Next year will mark 10 years for me at Microsoft, with 5 of those years being in a dedicated marketplace role. So if you think of that in dog years, that's like 35 years dedicated to marketplace. I want to remind everyone that we have Q&A online, and we also have a marketplace booth in the Microsoft partner area. So please, Mason and I are there a lot tomorrow, so please come find us. And I also realize it's 5 p.m. on day 2 of Ignite, so we really value your time. We hope you find value in this, but we're thrilled to be here to talk with you about the marketplace.
Yeah, thanks, Kristyn. So today we're going to spend a little bit of time giving you context about how we think about marketplace and the marketplace opportunity. The types of things that we want to cover is where are we seeing customer demand? Where are we seeing those opportunities for growth? We want to talk a little bit about what that means for you as partner organizations. We'll dive into some of the benefits available to help you get started if that's where you are in your journey, or to accelerate your growth on the marketplace. And then finally, we want to spend a little bit of time leaving you with some actionable steps, some things you can walk away with today to either begin your journey or accelerate your journey on the marketplace. So why now? You've heard us talk about this quite a bit. These reasons aren't changing, they're only growing stronger. It's really rooted in customer demand. We are following where our customers are leading. And in that space, one of the big drivers we see is the rise of our millennials and Gen Zs as decision makers in the buying power, line of business decision makers that really are looking for the digital platform somewhere in the find, try, buy journey, sometimes all the time, sometimes just a piece of it, and marketplace is how we meet them there. As cloud spending grows, IT is leaning in, procurement is leaning in. Marketplace is a vehicle for those individuals, their roles, their functions, to help bring value to the overall purchase cycle and the IT portfolio at their organizations. And this is only growing faster with the IT acceleration. You'll see a great stat here about how unsure folks are how they're going to scale AI. Part of how they're going to scale AI is how they find, try, acquire, and manage their subscriptions with these AI vendors.
Absolutely. I mean, it used to be, like, in the early days of Marketplace, it was primarily only enterprise Goliaths that were using it, right? They were using it to manage their software vendors, get them on one list, to use that pre-committed cloud spend. But for some of the reasons Mason just mentioned, and the sheer reliance we all have on the cloud, companies of all shapes and sizes are leaning into Marketplace to make it the center of gravity for their cloud portfolio. And this is why, if we go to the next slide, we continue to double down on the marketplace for how we can go to market together. And what I find most exciting about the marketplace is it can really be the democratization of IT so that any Microsoft partner can sell to any Microsoft customer. When I was in my first year in this role, we did a case study, and it's still to date one of my favorites. It was a startup. They were 11 employees, and they were in a very remote part of Canada. I remember our film crew had to go through the woods to get there. And their solution was super niche, but it just so happened that this Fortune 50 company needed this type of solution. They found that solution on the marketplace, reached out to that partner, validated it was what they needed, and because of the marketplace, they were able to make that transaction. It was a 7-digit deal. That partner continued to do great things on Marketplace, and they've since been acquired, and they're very happy about it. So that's just one story of many that just sticks with me. And this is why I really believe that the marketplace can help you reach more customers, whether that is digital, direct through our storefronts or in-product experiences, scaling through our partner ecosystem, or co-selling with us. It can simplify your sales. You can lean on a global commerce engine and take away some of the burden of global commerce. Marketplace currently supports 141 geos with 17 currencies and over 51 tax and VAT IDs. And you can unlock the growth by leaning into the power of the Microsoft ecosystem. And additionally, pre-committed cloud spend is still a major driver for marketplace adoption. And with 95% of the Fortune 500 using Azure is a great opportunity. And for our customers, what they're loving about the marketplace is the opportunity to increase their efficiency. There's a lot of software out there. SaaS sprawl is a real thing. And by shopping through the marketplace, they can validate a list, know that that your solutions are going to work with their software stack. I remember recently we did some message testing, and we had an interview with a procurement professional. And as we kind of dug into some of the capabilities, he was just so relieved that he could trust the Microsoft catalog, and that would validate some of their software choices. And he said, hey, if this can help me vet these vendors and just give me that much more time a day that I can have breakfast with my daughter, it's a win for me. And that always really stuck with me. And customers can buy with confidence. They're buying from Microsoft. Your partner solutions show up on their Azure invoice, and they can simplify how they're buying. And they can spend smarter. We did a Forrester TEI study recently, and one of the findings was that overall, by buying through Marketplace, customers could have 30% time savings. That equates to real value. And for those customers with pre-committed cloud spend, they can count those Azure IP co-sell eligible solutions towards their contract.
Yeah, Kristyn, that's a consistent message that we've been driving through the years. I think it still holds as true today as when we put it together a few years ago. We're seeing a lot of growth. This mechanism is really starting to accelerate. The flywheel we've been talking about is getting going. Doubling year over year, that's a great accomplishment on a solid baseline. We've got billions of dollars in transactions running through the marketplace. And I wanted to spend a few minutes talking about who's buying. What have we learned about them? Industry focus. As we think about where the concentration of buyers are within industries, we're seeing tremendous growth across industries such as manufacturing, over 150%, retail, over 111%, energy, you see here, 124%, and financial services, by far our largest industry customer segment, 60% year-over-year growth on a very large baseline. And so as we think about who we're selling to, I think something important that I'd like you to cover, if you don't mind, is how we're selling, not just who.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I can take the clicker. Yeah, so I mean, I think there is a common misconception here that I've even talked with partners about it at the booth, that you have to put a cookie cutter solution in the marketplace and we will only sell that. But the marketplace really adapts to how you want to sell, whether that's digital direct, through partner, or with Microsoft. And I'm going to go through and talk through how to think about these frameworks and how you can go deeper in building your own marketplace strategy. So as you think about how you want to use marketplace, obviously you want to think about how you want to sell. But you also want to think about how your customers want to buy and how our Microsoft sellers snap into that. So your customer industry can give you some propensity for some idea for what their propensity is to use Marketplace. And then you really need to consider the segment. Is it enterprise or SMB? And as you do that prioritization, think of these 4 routes. Do you want to go number 1, digital direct, which is selling to millions of online shoppers in our B2B storefronts, Azure Marketplace, Microsoft AppSource. That's also surfacing to our in-product experiences like Azure, where so many enterprise customers sit, or Microsoft Teams, where we have millions upon millions of monthly active users. Do you want to go number 2, which is co-sell, selling alongside our 35,000 global sellers? Or 3, through partner, scaling through our 500,000 strong partner ecosystem? Or 4, also through partner, but different, going through our 90,000 partners in the Cloud Solution Provider program. So as you make that mapping, you can see how this kind of works. For example, if you really want to focus on enterprise, you probably want to be looking for those customers with that pre-committed cloud budget and be focusing more on a co-sell scenario. If you want to break into an industry that's highly regulated, let's say public sector, you might want to lean on a channel partner to help you bring your solution onto their customer's platform. Or if you want to go SMB, think more digital direct or using our CSP partners to help resell your solution. So as you build that framework and think digital direct, through partner, co-sell, I'm going to go through some best practices, or we're going to go through some best practices across that. So starting with digital direct. Digital direct, I mean, Mason hit on it earlier. Gen Z, millennials, they're entering leadership positions, think digital first. This isn't going to go away. This doesn't mean that your hero offering that's super expensive is going to be bought in a digital direct scenario, but it does mean that buyers are increasingly looking to shop independently, kick the tires on some solutions, and vet before they engage sales. So what I'm really trying to encourage partners to do is consider free trials or low-cost licenses so that you can start that B2C-like motion in B2B. Then what I like to tell people is use marketplace rewards to start driving some demand to that free or low-cost offer. We're going to cover more on marketplace rewards in a minute, but there's a lot of opportunity there to get on Microsoft channels. So use your free or low-cost offer to drive that engagement where you can expect a B2B conversion and save your larger deals for private offers and whatnot. And then as you build these marketing motions, evaluate the funnel in Partner Center and iterate. I continue to learn a lot about Partner Center, a lot from my friend Mason here, and I'm always impressed with what's being added to it and its functionality. So I just wanted to share this quick screenshot that is within Partner Center, and it is a marketing funnel, and it will show you who's coming to your listing, who's a lead, who's converting, and you might think like, well, I could just do this on my own. And you can, absolutely. But by putting this information into Marketplace and having it show up in Partner Center, you're increasing your partner footprint with us and giving us visibility into what you're doing so that we can sell better together. Our very first Marketplace Partner of the Year award winner did exactly this. They had a trial. They used Marketplace rewards to drive the demand. They paired it with their own marketing. As they converted that trial to a pay-as-you-go motion and saw like whatever threshold of revenue, they started thinking strategically about those leads and converted them to co-sell opportunities. And that's a model we'd love to see more partners follow. So, as exciting as Digital Direct is, what I am most excited about this fiscal year, by far, is through partner. There was an amazing session today with Jason Rook and Allison 𝗬𝗲🐐. If you didn't have a chance to check it out, I really hope you do. They went deep on this. But through partner, we have two routes, as you saw in a few slides earlier. There is multi-party private offers and CSP private offers. And while there's always exceptions, you can essentially think of multi-party private offers as a channel partner owning a customer relationship and managing a customer's Azure tenant, and that's primarily going to be enterprise scenarios. And CSP private offers is really about scaling to SMB. So we believe this is a huge opportunity. We have an amazing ecosystem of partners, and that there's just tremendous opportunity for scale through the marketplace here. But as you embark on your through partner journey, because it's through private offers, one of my tips is make sure that you know private offers in and out. Whether like partners are still, channel partners, MPO, still relatively new. So if you're engaging with a MPO partner for MPO, it's very likely their first deal. So make sure that they know how to get enrolled, how they're going to send that offer to the customer so that your customer doesn't have any friction in that buying experience. We want it seamless for everybody. And then create enablement materials to support your partners as sellers for your organization. The model of ISVs and channel partners selling together is not new, but by adding this marketplace component to it, make sure that your channel partners are equipped with wide marketplace, knowing about Azure consumption benefits, and how you can do more business together. And then this ultimately is really about building meaningful business relationships. So we have a huge ecosystem. We're continuing to try to find ways to help you better connect to the partners that make sense for you. So I just want to highlight 2 resources here. I think this MPO eligible partner list is one of our most underutilized assets. It's a great tool to help you know who you can sell with. Our team updates this list at the end of every month, so I would encourage everyone to bookmark a date early in the month and download it. But what it is, it's the list of all the partners that have successfully sold an MPO deal within a reasonable time with a link on how to contact them. So please check this out. You might find partners that you're already doing business with that you can go engage with. And then we've also built a campaign in a box so that you can go and recruit partners yourself. This is all based off our own marketplace messaging and the 2-partner value. So please take this, run with it, customize it, and find the partner relationships that work for you. So that's Digital Direct and through partner, and I know many of you probably want to hear about co-sell, so I'm going to hand it over to Mason to cover that.
Thank you, Kristyn. Appreciate it. Okay, so let's talk about co-sell for a minute. I want to start by acknowledging the power of the holistic marketplace approach. I would say the partners that we work with, the ISVs that we engage with that have the most success, they're not selling through one channel. They're engaging holistically through each of one of these channels in a purposeful and strategic way. And I think to start off, though, let's level set. We are 100% aligned on our co-sell strategy through the marketplace. You heard about that from us last fiscal year. We've continued to see the growth and acceleration of that business that we were hoping to see with you. But where does that journey begin? If you're not there with us today, it really begins by becoming Azure IP co-sell eligible. This is something you can do relatively simply. Once you've seen some sales acceleration, you've got a good market fit with your product, you can walk that product through that qualification process within minutes, right? We want to understand what makes it tick, what your architecture looks like, and we'll review that to make sure that it aligns with the program guidelines. Once that's true, you're in. You've unlocked not only IP co-sell with our sellers, you've unlocked the ability to decrement MAC with our customers as well. Secondly, I want to talk a little bit about the bill of materials. This is one that's important to take seriously, and one of the areas that we often see start to get neglected that can lead to a slowdown in the funnel that's difficult for you to identify as a partner. Whether it's leave behind material for the sales teams to leave with the customers, whether it's information to help our sales teams understand exactly what your solution does, how it solves their customer problems, maybe even how it benefits them. Additionally, we ask for some contact information. We want to make sure that we have current contacts with your organization so we know who to reach out to when we have those interesting deals or we have the customer questions coming to us. Another best practice, spend a little bit of time mapping how your solution drives Azure or an AI service that seller is really interested in. Being able to bring that additional level of information to a conversation to not only talk about the customer problem you solve first, but also why that seller should be interested in selecting you, that can be really powerful, and that's a difference maker oftentimes in deals. Finally, make sure you submit your referrals. Our field sellers want to sell with you. They want to sell with you in marketplace, but that begins with them knowing what your opportunities are, who the customers are, and whether or not you're intending to leverage marketplace. That becomes primary filters for how they think about how they're going to engage, who they're going to engage with, and the priority they put on top of that engagement. Finally, we really, really do want you to submit referrals, even if you don't need Microsoft help. That gives us visibility into what you're doing. It gives us an opportunity at times to extend resources, but also to understand the depth of your partnership with us. So how do I go about doing this referral thing you're telling me about? It's actually really easy. It takes less than 5 minutes. It's a Partner Center screen. I won't do a demo for you, I promise, but I'll give you a quick screen. It's one button, click New Deal. It's got a few question fields. We want to understand who the customer is, what the opportunity looks like, which one of your offers you're bringing. Are we doing this on Marketplace or not? And if this UI is not working for you, we can do it in bulk upload. We can do it via API. So a lot of your systems may be integrated. If they're not, and if you expect to do this at scale, we can support you in that way as well. What do I get out of this? Well, besides getting the attention of the Microsoft sales team, besides getting integrated with us in a joint sales motion, this is where we start to unveil additional information to you, such as, is that account MAC eligible? So I get asked this question a lot. How do I know if a customer is MAC eligible? That's your answer. Get the information in the system. Once you get it in the system, we'll give you that information. We'll let you know whether or not that's the appropriate conversation to be having with that customer. Next, I want to talk a little bit about how our sellers see co-sell and how they're thinking about Marketplace, right? So I bucketed into two categories. What does a good lead look like? Well, a good lead, let's start with running on Azure. Great place to start if you want to work with the Azure sellers. We talked a little bit about IP co-sell already. It's a mechanical step, but it's an important step, and it's what unlocks access to these benefits for you. Are you MAC eligible? Is the customer going to be interested in your offer? Is that value prop appealing to them if that's the play you're running after? Are you BANT qualified? Co-sell is not the place to go fishing for new opportunities. It's the place to work on existing opportunities. So if you've got a BANT qualified lead, you meet these criterias, bring it in. Share your customer references. There is nothing our sales team loves more than being able to understand who has bought your solution on Marketplace. You know how to do it. You understand the customer problem. You solve the customer problem, and you know how to work on Marketplace. That's what good looks like. Well, what does better look like? We spend a lot of time interviewing our sellers. We spend time talking to them about what does the best deals look like? Who are the best sellers? What do they look for? Number one thing, do you know Marketplace? They want to know not just that you're here to co-sell, but that you're here to co-sell and run with us on the Marketplace. Number two, you got industry references, especially if you got an industry solution. And is it relevant to my geography? If you do, bring those to the table. Number three, I talked a little bit about what's in it for me. What's the better together story, right? It'll be no surprise to anyone here that our sellers have, a lot of focus on driving things like Azure OpenAI or driving things like native Azure services. A lot of your solutions do that for them. They pull it through. It integrates. Tell that story. Talk about any new line of business areas or new customer insights that you can bring to the deal that the sales team won't know already. You have them. They're your customers too. So let's have that open dialogue back and forth. We do need to consider things like ecosystem conflict, right? Where we run into that, let's be open, transparent, and how we're going to work together through those scenarios. And finally, let's keep up to date. We ask our sellers to do the same thing. All of our best co-selling sellers do. We ask you to do the same thing. Go back into that referral. Integrate it with your CRM system. Share information back and forth on what's happening on that offer that you're comfortable sharing and that you think will accelerate the deal. Okay. I talked a little bit about Mac. I'm going to click into it because I know there's a lot of interest in it. You've been by the booth all day. Really enjoyed it. But I want to talk a little bit about what does it mean to decrement a customer's Mac. To start with, this is available to any of our offers that are Azure benefit eligible. That's how we talk to our customers about it. What it means to you is you've achieved the IP co-sell eligible status and gained Mac decrement benefit eligibility. What scenarios does that apply to? Well, scenario one, first one that pops into a lot of folks' head, hey, there's a lot of pre-committed spend out there. Customers love to accelerate that pre-committed spend, right? They love to be able to consolidate in their existing purchases to that pre-committed spend. So that's a great conversation to have. It helps them de-risk, helps you accelerate sales, helps create stickiness because the next time comes around, they're going to roll that right back into their Mac, that purchase, and your renewal is locked into a committed budget. Scenario number two, we are negotiating new Macs with customers all the time. That is an amazing opportunity for you to have a conversation with your customers, as our sellers do, on potentially bringing your solution in, whether it's a net new deployment, whether it's a renewal, whether it's an upsell or a migration to the cloud. All of those are opportunities as they shape that agreement to pre-bake yourself into their spending plan for the next X number of years. And we want to do that alongside you. Finally, I think, to me, what is the most compelling part of Mac, and one of the main reasons we're drawing so many customers in, is if you have that Mac decrement eligible offer, we will enable our customers to decrement 100% of the contract value against that Mac, and we don't cap it. So that opportunity is there for all of us. We want to go after it together. And I think this is probably the number one thing that you'll hear from customers in terms of why Marketplace, why on Azure. And so we want to double down on that.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, that 100% match that we do with the no limit is one of the proof points for how we are partner-centric. And for years, we have built into, that we're a partner-focused business platform. But the reality is Microsoft is a partner-focused business. And I know you have probably all seen this slide a few times by now, but it's something that we're really proud of because we measure our success in your success. So this study with the IDC that was done recently showed that for every $1 of Microsoft revenue, services-led partners were making almost 9, and software-led partners were making almost 11. And this can all be further accelerated and amplified through the marketplace. We've had so many partners see success already. And this is just a small smattering of some of the partners who have been successful. There's no way that we could fit all the logos on a single slide. But just to give a few quick sound bites, Dynatrace has said that their marketplace deals are on average 2 times larger than their non-marketplace deals. Prophecy, an organization that has had an 8x annualized growth in marketplace, and Wiz, who is our 2024 Marketplace Partner of the Year award winner, has taken a marketplace-first approach and has 70% of all their revenue going through cloud marketplaces. And we really want to transcend all this success to you. And we have benefits and opportunities available to support you. Whenever anyone asks me, what do we do to support partners and going to market on the marketplace, my answer is always the same, that Marketplace Rewards is the programmatic way that we help. And it works. Partners that use Marketplace Rewards sell 7 times more than partners that don't. And this is just a quick laundry list of some of the features that are available within Marketplace Rewards. There's so many things here, and the team that owns this does a fantastic job, and we're always thinking about ways to modernize this to help you drive the most impact. One quick highlight I want to give is that recently we introduced lead propensity scoring. So this is where you can, at the 100K threshold, you can send your lead list to us. We use our customer data and ML models to help evaluate your leads and score them on their propensity to buy through the marketplace. Prior to this session, I asked the team to just send me an actual deliverable of what was sent to a partner just so I could see it with my own eyes. And it is very deep and very thorough and really a way that you can help prioritize your sellers to go focus on deals that have a likelihood to close. And while that is super exciting, some of the real magic of Marketplace Rewards falls in Azure sponsorship. So like any loyalty program, the more you sell, the more you earn. And there's just tremendous opportunity here for you to use these credits in a way you want, whether that's for a customer proof of concept or for dev test scenarios or however you want to use these credits, that is up to you. I did a presentation in September, and I leaned into Marketplace Rewards quite a bit. And I wish I would have pulled that slide into this presentation, but we evaluated some deals that had gone through, and 3 partners. It was Wiz, Varonis, and Adobe had closed almost 25 deals at a almost $50 million total contract value with the help of Azure sponsorship. So this is a very real benefit that can have real meaning to your business. And I also want to call out, as you have those marketplace build sales, this is where you unlock Azure IP co-sell, and other opportunities like software designations. So I hope this gets you excited about Marketplace Rewards. I'm going to hand it back to Mason to help close us out.
So what's next? Where are we investing? What's new? We talked about this in October. We're very excited. We believe that the opportunity to accelerate not only new logos, but also to help your existing logos move onto the marketplace is a great chance for you to take customers you know today, get them going and yourself going in this cloud-first GTM. But in recognition of the fact that the value you receive from the marketplace is different in a renewal. You know the customer already. They're already your customer. We were so excited to announce our 50% reduced agency fee for all of the renewals that you bring onto Marketplace, whether it's an existing Marketplace offer or if it's a customer you've got sitting in an on-prem and there's a migration, or whether it's something that's already running on Azure, but you're just bringing them to the Marketplace to transact for the first time. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit. The core scenario that we decided to support, or we're able to support in this, is really a private offer, right? So this is something custom that you're doing with your customer. Existing, we do this through either standard private offers or multi-party private offer. The renewal can be for a contract that's off Marketplace, something was very important to us, and we heard loud and clear in early feedback on here that was important as well. And finally, how do I do this? It's a simple self-attestation. As you're putting together your private offer, we ask you to attest that you adhere to a series of simple instructions and definitions of what this renewal looks like. This includes upsells, by the way. Forgot to put that one on the slide next time. Includes your upsells, and it's one of the many offerings that we've been putting in place to help you continue to grow, build your marketplace business, and we're really excited by the traction that we're seeing in this space so far. But no matter kind of where you're at in your journey, right? Whether you're talking about net new renewals, whether you are earning your certified software designation today, or whether you're in the process of beginning to build your new apps, we're really proud of what we've put together to help you along that journey. So it doesn't matter whether you are in the midst of building your first app, getting ready to publish, whether it's your first app or you're doing this with your 10th app, we think we've got the right mix of benefits for you here in ISV Success, for example, or through the MAICPP program, and we think we've got the right mix of offers there to help support you along that journey. As you build your pipeline on Marketplace, leverage Marketplace Rewards to accelerate your go-to-market, your customer deployment, to land those logos. You can earn cash incentives through the Transact and Grow incentive. And finally, as you advance along this journey, you can begin to differentiate yourself in the eyes of both the customers and the Microsoft commercial field through IP co-sell eligibility and through earning your certified software designations. So as we close out, I wanted to share a list of links. These are here to help you with your marketplace journey. You will receive the deck after this session, so feel free to look at it there. But also, if you want more active engagement, we recommend the marketplace community. There's a team there that manages all of your questions, gives you vetted answers, known experts, other partners. It's also a great way to stay on top of feature updates, product updates, roadmaps, offerings, etc. And finally, if you get an opportunity to catch up with some other marketplace-focused content, we've got a few theater sessions still to go. Tomorrow, we've got top 10 tips for success on Marketplace. That's a tongue twister for me. And then we also have a great session, step-by-step introduction to Activate multi-party offers, both high demand. So we're excited to have you there. If you want to see how we position it to customers, we've got a session tomorrow as well about unlocking customer value through more than just a storefront. And additionally, we've had a few sessions that Kristyn had mentioned earlier. They're recorded. They'll be available. You should go check those out if you're interested in ISV Success updates.
I think, and we have the speakers for the one before this right here. So 𝗬𝗲 and 𝗦𝗲 are here that did the ISV Success session. And if you didn't have a chance to see it, please check it out online, as well as that MPO session with Jason Rook and Allison 𝗬𝗲𝗀𝗃. I was there, and I mean, I've watched a lot of sessions, and it was fantastic. So please check it out. Are we on our last one?
Yeah,
Before
I
we
mean, well,
close?
before we go, I'll say thank you. I appreciate everybody coming out here.
Make sure to go to the.
I'll go to our next slide so we don't forget that one for you. Here's
Well,
our plug.
I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
you're good, you're good. You're
Okay.
good.
Well, since we have, a little bit of time, I just want to really encourage everyone to please send us your feedback. It's super important to us. I truly love getting the reviews of these sessions and just really, truly knowing what you think. But thank you so much for joining. Mason and I will both be at the booth tomorrow and around, and we can hang out here for a little bit. So thank you. We appreciate you, and we hope you're excited about the marketplace opportunity. Yay, we did it. Did they turn off the mic?